What is up, my friends? Welcome back to the Wrestless podcast. I'm here doing another tier list. As you can see by the tiers we have here, you might be guessing we're doing debuts, and if you guessed that, you would be right. So today we'll be ranking debuts, but not just any debuts. We're only ranking debuts by WWE superstars who came to AEW. Now, this might be a little controversial list because some people know how I feel about AEW. I feel like it's kind of going downhill. Kind of not a big fan of the product anymore, but I still watch. I still root for them to be good, root for their success. I don't like, you know, every WWE person coming over to AEW and it just being like, oh, let's get new debuts for pops. That's it. Debuts, all it means is a pop is to them. It should be more than that. It should be meaningful. So that's how I will judge it today. Is it meaningful? Was it impactful? Was it cool? Was the debut like memorable? Was it fun? So let's go ahead and get started. If you know how I do tier lists, I literally just I go in order from the first one to the last one, and I just go rank them. And if I don't know them, I'll put them in the last one. So here we go. First, we have Sean Spears, aka the Perfect 10. He made his debut really early on in AEW. It was a good debut. Go ahead and start off with a solid B tier. It was good, nothing special in my opinion, nothing cool. He hasn't really done much in AEW except being like people's lackeys and bitches. So I wish he was up to do more because he is an incredible talent. He has a great build. He has a great promo. He's awesome in the ring. Just wish he did some more. Next, we have Awesome Kong. Is this the worst? Like, I wish this wasn't titled worst debut. I'd probably like retitle it bad debuts. Like, let's say bad slash boring. What bad slash boring? This wasn't like I wouldn't say underwhelming because like I wouldn't expect much of it anyway. So I would just put in like bad, boring, don't care. Next we have John Moxley. God, that first John Moxley appearance in AEW. It's one of the greatest debuts, not only in AEW, but I would legit say this is one of the greatest debuts in wrestling history. It was so awesome. Next, we have the debut of Arn Anderson. Again, a good debut. He became, Cody's coach, and every now and then he would mention pulling up a Glock to a person's head and spilling his brains out. So, good old Arn Anderson. Next, we have Jake Hager. Awesome debut. I love how they did it. I love how they present Jake Hager back then. I don't know about so much now with him and his purple hat that he loves so much. But Jake Hager presented as this like unstoppable beast. Doesn't have to talk much. He's just there to kill. Next, I believe is that QT Marshall or no, Colt Cabana. That looks like Colt Cabana. Boring, bad, I guess. Uh, Next you have Lance Archer and Jake the Snake. I'd say it's a good debut. Nothing like amazing. Uh, I love Jake the Snake Roberts, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Uh, Obviously the inventor of the DDT. I'm a big fan of Lance Archer too. I like his work as the New Japan Pro Wrestling US champion. I liked it. I liked his death match with John Moxley. It was amazing. Next we have R.I.P. Brody Lee. That was pretty awesome. Finally to find out who the leader of the Dark Order was, you know? It was cool. It was cool. So this one's a little weird because Matt Hardy's debut was good, right? But it wasn't as good I thought as it should have been. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it underwhelming. If you know me, I'm a big fan of Matt Hardy. I prefer him over Jeff actually, and I like that they're bringing back like the broken gimmick, but like at the same time, like they kind of stuck him in that 5v5 like elite versus Jericho inner circle tag match, and really didn't lead to much except that Sammy Matt Hardy like rivalry was cool, but led to a lot of unnecessary injuries. Next we have Taz. It's a good debut. It became a great part of the commentary team. I love my weekly Taz unnecessary comments. FTR. Oops. Awesome debut. I love to see FTR. FTR recently made their return to AEW, challenging the Gun Club. Next, we have Vicky Guerrero. This was a bad debut, man. Didn't need to happen. Doesn't matter. I believe now she's the manager for Nyla Rose. She was managing Andrade for basically a minute. Ty Conti next. A good debut. She's doing cool things. Now her and Sammy Guevara just like the most annoying people on the earth. So not really much to say other than that. Like it's a good debut. I wouldn't put it in underwhelming because like I didn't really expect much of it, and like good things came out of it. So next we have my boy Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona. This is an awesome debut, man. I wish he stayed in AEW a little bit longer. I know he was just there to like wreck shop and the whole Impact partnership. Matt Cardona is now like officially the king of the indies. So awesome debut. Next we have Serena Deeb. This is a good debut. I kind of forgot about Serena Deeb. She had a cool match with Thunder Rosa. That's pretty much all I remember about like her AEW run so far. Who is that? Is that Matt Sydal? Yeah, we have Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal. It's a good debut. It's not like bad or anything. He did have that botch, right? Yeah, that botch trying to do the shooting star press. Yeah, poor Matt Sydal. Next we have Miro. Again, like Miro's underwhelming debut because you expect so much. And then he just comes out as like the best man and the Miro Day chance or the Rusev Day chance. Um Probably one of the most wasted talents in AEW history. I like what he did in WWE. I think he held down the mid card solidly, and like I think that's a great place for him to be is holding down the mid card. Who is that dude? Let's scroll over. Oh, is that fucking what's his name? The Carney? Forget his name. The dude with Kenny Omega. Uh, no comment. Whatever. Forgot his name. Sting. Sting had a good debut. He's now like him and Darby are like tight. That's cool, I guess. It was a big deal, like to see Sting in AEW. Like this man's in his 60s. What is he doing? But like he doesn't take many. He still takes bumps, man. He and like kind of has like this untouchable aspect about him right now, where like he no sells stuff. He like beats the shit out of people. Big Show. It was boring, man. Like don't need Big Show in AEW. Don't need him on commentary. Don't care for it. Next, we have that dude, one of the legendary wrestlers whose name I can't remember right now. No comment. Don't really care. Don't really like. Don't have much to say about it, so no comment. Christian Cage, awesome debut. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Christian Cage. He had that debut. That was built up to be like, oh, a big AEW contract signing. Just like earlier before that, he returned at the Royal Rumble in 2021. I like that he popped up with that T-shirt, like "Show up and outwork everyone," something like that. He has that great theme song by Evanescence. He's done cool things in AEW so far, especially his feud with Jungle Boy. Uh, the feud with Kenny Omega, where he beat him on the first or on Rampage, where he like hit the unprettier on the freaking chair. So yeah, dope. Mark Henry, boring man. Like did not need to happen. Like again, like I like Mark Henry. I really do. Even as a commentator, like he's fine. But like, did it make me pop? Did it get me out of my chair? Did it make me care? It's boring. It's not underwhelming because I didn't really have high expectations in the first place. Andrade is an underwhelming debut. Like you want big things for Andrade. You expect big things from Andrade. But all you get is a bad attitude and barely any wrestling time and barely anything memorable. So yeah. Next we have Malachi Black, formerly known as Aleister Black. He had that dope debut, where he like took out Cody. He had the lights go out, spin kick, takes out Cody, takes out Arn Anderson first, I believe actually, and then they have that feud. That was kind of like the running thing in AEW is like person debuts, feuds with Cody, Boom, you're established. Glad that's not a thing anymore. Next, we have Chavo Guerrero. Little fun fact for my birthday last year when I turned 23, I got a little cameo message from Chavo Guerrero, and it actually meant the world to me because I grew up as a big Los Guerreros fan. Him and Eddie being a tag team and Smack in the early days of SmackDown. Huge fan. Chavo being from Texas, me being from Texas, like just a huge fan of Chavo and the whole Guerrero family. Um, I think he's an incredible talent in the ring. I think he's so entertaining on the mic. Like you saw him as ECW World Champion. Like he's a smaller guy. He's not supposed to make it big, but he is so freaking talented. For that reason, but his AEW shit, right? It's underwhelming. Coming out as Andrade's like personal manager or something. Didn't really lead to much and I didn't care. Unfortunately. Next we have 2.0, formerly known as 2.0. It's a good debut. I like what they're doing right now. Jericho Appreciation Society. That dude uh asking people to feel his nipples. Good debut, right? Ah, poor CM Punk. CM Punk, who is no longer associated with AEW due to a little backstage brawl at Brawl Out. You can't deny though, like this is the return everyone has waited for decades. Not decades. What I said decades? Like since 2014. A little less than a decade. Um Man, when it finally happened, it was so incredible on the first Rampage ever in Chicago. Free ice cream bars for everyone. Cool t-shirt. I bought that t-shirt immediately. Had to take it off immediately. Thanks, CM Punk. Thanks for fighting the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. It could have been a good match. Why couldn't you just wait? Next you have Leo Rush. Boring. It was at like the Battle Royale. No one cared. No one gave a fuck. Especially I didn't. Adam Cole. Amazing debut. Awesome debut. He confronts the Elite. You think he might turn, he might be feuding with Kenny Omega. Nope. We're friends. We're cool. The debut was cool. What Adam Cole has done since then, obviously injuries play a factor. He won the Owen Hart tournament thingy, beat Jeff Hardy and shit. Um, I did not like what they did with like the undisputed elite and shit. Like obviously bringing undisputed era over Kyle O'Reilly. I think that's the biggest mistake Kyle O'Reilly ever made was leaving NXT. He was really being pushed to be a solo star in NXT and went to AEW to be what? Adam Cole's right hand man again. So, and next we have Bryan Danielson. This could go into the greatest debuts, man. Because after that Adam Cole debut, you thought the show was over. Like, holy shit, that's done with. But then, no. We get a remix version of Flight of the Valkyrie, and we get Bryan Danielson rocking a ponytail. Not only a remix of Flight of the Valkyrie, a trap remix of Flight of the Valkyrie. Yeah, it was awesome, and I didn't expect it. That's for sure. Adam Cole was a little bit more expected than that. But these three right here, man. Bryan Danielson showing up on All Out, unexpected. CM Punk showing up at Rampage, a little bit expected, but holy shit, moment of the decade. And Jon Moxley's debut, one of the freaking greatest debuts of all time. But please, please let me know what you think about this list. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Frankly, I don't care if you disagree with me because I will debate you in the comments right now. Um, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm coming off a little aggressive towards you. I just don't want anyone to disagree with me. But if you do, let me know. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and TikTok, as well as, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead, hit the like button. Go ahead, head to our Spotify, listen to our latest episode of our podcast. Give us 5 stars on Spotify. Go ahead and do that. And as always, stay restless.